Most one-minute scalpers have a common mistake. They think that if the RSI reaches a certain range or the price crosses an EMA, it's time to enter a trade. But the truth is that the market doesn't move with an indicator. In this video, I want to tell you a secret so that you can enter every setup you see: machine learning, RSI all classification and ranking. Add EMA34. This is an advanced RSI, classic RSI that gives you accurate signals. Also change the settings from 500 to 200. Most traders use the RSI very simply. For example, they say, when the RSI goes below 30, it means that we are oversold and we should buy. Or when the RSI goes above 70, it means that we are overbought and should sell. But the problem is that the market does not always follow this simple rule. Sometimes the RSI goes below 30 and the price goes even lower. Sometimes the RSI goes above 70 and the market continues to grow. So where's the problem? The problem is that we only look at one number, not the conditions behind that number. This is where the idea of classification comes in. Instead of just saying that the RSI is at 65, we classify the RSI conditions. Well, you might say that we already know this, but let me tell you one thing about this strategy to get the best entry point. The thing that distinguishes this is that it has the entry signal from the candle itself, not the area, meaning we are more confident that the price will signal the confirmation from the candle, and we will enter. And the EMA34 also helps us to identify fake failures and enter with the confirmation of the RSI, like this part. That is exactly when to enter the trade. On the 1-minute time frame, we do not want to enter the market with every small movement. First, several filters must be put together. For a buy trade, we are looking for these conditions. First condition, the price must be above the EMA34. This means that the market has a tendency to move upwards in the short term, and we do not want to trade against the main trend. Second condition, the RSI classification must show bullish conditions. That is, it does not just matter what number the RSI has. What is important is that the system detects whether the power of buyers is increasing or not. The third condition, confirmation of the market structure, or SMC, must give BOS so that we can safely enter the trade. That is, if we examine several factors together, this situation is worth considering. Now let's assume the price is above EMA34, RSI indicates the strength of buyers, and ranking is 1 and SMC gives confirmation for continuation, not a fake failure that is given a high score. But we still don't enter directly. We wait for a small correction. Why? Because in scalping, entering on excitement usually causes us to enter at the worst price. Better scenario, the price makes an upward move, slightly returns to EMA34 or a short-term support. The power of sellers weakens and the upward move starts again. This is the point where we can look for entry. Now let's examine the selling conditions. For sell, we do exactly the opposite. First condition, the price must be below EMA34. This means that the selling pressure is greater in the short term. Second condition, the RSI classification must show bearish conditions. This means that the system recognizes that the strength of sellers has increased, not just that the RSI has dropped. Third condition, the price structure must confirm the area with Chach or Boss so that we can enter safely, not a fake failure. Now we wait for a corrective move. One of the common mistakes of scalpers is that they quickly enter the sale after a large bearish candle. But usually after these moves, the market makes a short return. More professional entry, the price is below EMA34. It makes an upward correction. It cannot break the EMA or short-term resistance. RSI again shows the weakness of buyers, and ranking still confirms the selling conditions. Here you can look for a sell entry. When the price or EMA34 lags a little, it wants to make sure that the price or the direction of the trend is correct, or whether this trade is going to make you lose, or if it is a fake move, take the cash and then continue the trend very carefully. Now let's look at an example on the USDCAD currency pair to understand more precisely how this system works. Suppose we open the USDCAD chart on the 1-minute time frame. The first thing we do is not to look for an entry. First, we examine the overall market situation. In this example, the price is above the EMA34. This is the first sign that tells us that the short-term power is in the hands of buyers at the moment. But as we said, we are not just looking at the EMA. Now let's move on to the RSI classification. The RSI shows us a number, but we are looking for the meaning behind this number. At this point, the system detects that the bullish momentum is increasing. The selling pressure in the corrections has weakened. The current movement is more like a continuation of the trend than a reversal. But there is still one more filter left. Also confirm the SMC to confirm the entry. That is, the more confirmation, the lower the risk of the trade, so we can add FIBO to the confirmation to have a higher win rate. The system starts to score. Is the price moving in the direction of EMA34? Is the RSI bullish? Is the short-term market structure appropriate? Is there enough momentum? When the final score reaches an acceptable level, we have a better quality setup. Now we wait for the entry. The price makes a short correction. Instead of entering the purchase at the highest point of the movement, we wait for the price to pull back a little. In this correction, the price remains above EMA34. RSI maintains its bullish conditions. Ranking does not show a sharp decline. After the formation of a bullish confirmation candle, a buy entry is made. We place the stop loss behind the last short-term low. Because if the price breaks that low, it means that the bullish structure based on which we entered is no longer valid. We also have two exit scenarios. First scenario, the price reaches the specified target and the trade is closed as planned. Second scenario, the market loses its strength. For example, the price returns below EMA34, RSI classification exits bullish mode, and ranking decreases. Risk management and the golden tip. But one very important point, even the best setup in the world can cause losses without risk management. In 1-minute scalping, our goal is not to make quick profits with high volume. Our goal is to be able to survive in the market. Always know before entering, where did you analyze wrong? Where is your stop loss? And how much of your capital are you risking in this trade? A simple rule, protect your capital first, then think about profits. Because a professional trader is not someone who never loses. He is someone whose losses remain small and whose profits have the opportunity to grow. So to summarize, in this strategy, we are not looking for a simple signal. We put together three important parts: EMA34 to identify the direction of the movement, RSI classification to understand the real strength of the market, and ranking system or SMC confirmation to find better quality positions. The goal is not to trade every small move. The goal is to enter only when several filters are in agreement. Remember, success in scalping does not come from the number of trades. It comes from choosing the right trades.